Hey everybody, and welcome back to Live Between Paychecks Kitchen and our onslaught on Thanksgiving. This is going to be amazing. I don't think I've ever heard of it being done, but it's something that's been cooking in the back of my mind for a long time. So I'm glad I'm finally trying this. So this is going to be great. It's going to be great for like Thanksgiving, or just if you're a fan of sweet potatoes, whatever. I'm not. The only reason I ever had them around the house is because I had a pet spider monkey as a kid named Coco, who was amazing, who loved sweet potatoes. So we just slice them up and eat them. So this brings back some memories. So this is great. It's Thanksgiving week. So before we get into it, be sure to like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube-y stuff. Ring the notification bell down in that corner. Get these as close to Tuesdays and Fridays as we can. Also, there's a link down in the doobly-doo for our merch. And let's just get into the food. Let's go make this one nice, quick one. Alright, this one is nice and simple. You're going to need some sweet potatoes. Now, this is just for a small batch here. If you're going to do for a bunch of people, you're going to need some more or bigger sweet potatoes. You think. You can get them in a bag or just these things. You're going to need some butter, some brown sugar. That's always your major stuff. Oh, yeah, you got butter, but you're going to use some oil to cook these. Like I'm just using canola oil. It's the cheapest thing there because you got to fry it like you're doing French fries, right? So you're going to need a lot of oil. You're going to want some cinnamon. That gives you just a little bit of kick there. Some salt, iodized salt, just a little bit, not a whole lot, okay? And then I'm going to use some pecans, which are actually the biggest expenditure here. Your marshmallow fluff, you can just get regular marshmallows and melt them down yourself, or you can just get this stuff. This is just to spoon it out. It works perfectly. It's great for what you're doing. The big expenditure is pecans, but this is pretty close. This is going to get close to our budget, but it works pretty well. Now, these are root vegetables. You want to clean them because, you know, they're dirty on the outside. They got eyes. They got the little hairs and stuff all over them. So if you're going to skin them or not, you want to go ahead and wash them. I washed mine. So, yeah, you see these eyes and stuff. Those just hold dirt, and that's always a bad thing. So get you a peeler. You can buy these at any dollar store, or you can use a sharp knife. Like, just take it, and you're just shaving it, basically. Just take all that skin and the hairs off, okay? It seems to be a lot easier with the knife for the most part, but your potato peeler is what everybody's going to come across here. See what I mean? Like, it catches the skin and it makes it harder. Now, the peeler will take off more of the flesh underneath, where the knife can just shave just the skin, but most of the times it's just a lot easier just to peel this off with the peeler here. Now, I'm going to show you when it gets these eyes that I didn't never realize the potato peeler tip was made to cut out the eyes. Right, so I don't ever go against myself here before anybody yells at me. I peel off a piece of my thumb once, but here you go. See the eye? You take that tip and just stick it in there, bloop, and just pulls it out. And it pulls out the dirt and the funky, and you don't have to worry about catching it later. So just keep peeling it. Peel the entire set like this if you're into it. If not, just leave them there. You can cut them whatever. Now, once you got these, remember, if you got small critters like gerbils and stuff, like monkeys, I had a pet monkey growing up, or quite a few pet monkeys, but they love the sweet potato peels. Or goats. Oh, goats. Sometimes horses, I don't know if it's any kind of detrimental to them, but our animals ate everything. So once you got them thin, get you a nice sharp knife. Now, these are still super hard root vegetables. So even with a sharp knife, these are going to be a pain in the tuchus to cut. Don't turn your fingers under. You might cut that pinky off. So just take these and we're going to cut them down. Now, if they're too wide, you don't want them too thick. You want to be very careful here. Just kind of get it in and cut it down twice if you can, right? Like on both sides of this, so like 4 cuts. If it's too thick, you might want to do a little more. Again, this is how thick you're making your potatoes. There are contraptions where you can put in there. Like, again, this is horrible knife discipline. I get it. I was in a hurry, and this is what you do with, like, the space and time constraints here, trying to get this all cut. But once you get them cut down to a few smaller pieces, we're just going to cut them edgewise here. Just a couple of them. You can see how wide that is. It's not even 1/8 of an inch wide. And you're making like these big square steak fries, right? That's all you're making. So this is your time consuming part. So just sit in here and cut all these down to this. You don't have to do them if they're still thin. Don't worry about it. But once you get them all cut, get them to the side, get you a good sized pan, and turn them up to medium high, because you want this to get warm. Now, I'm going to use about a third of a bottle of this stuff, so it's about 2.5 cups of oil. You don't want to completely float them, but you don't want it where it's just going to cook half of them and you roll them over. You want them kind of float, but not to be drowned, right? So let that get nice warmed up. Took me about 5 minutes, but you can see where it's bubbling. You want it to bubble, not to spatter, okay? So if it's spattering and it's like spitting all over the place, it's too high, turn it down. So just want it to bubble. So go ahead and put these in here. Be very, very careful when you're putting these in here, because that is very hot oil in there. It'll splash up and get you, like I actually splashed up and got my hand here in a minute. I'll show you here. And dropped it in. I was like, ha, and it just hit me right in the palm of my hand from underneath and burned the tuchus out of me. So you got to be very careful when you put those in there. So you let them sit and bubble. Now I'm using these tong things that I found. Here you can see where I've boiled and like cooked the ends of them here. Now you want to give them a slow turn. Now it's potatoes, so they get soft before they get hard again. So they're super hard now, they'll get down and get soft. So when you go to turn them around, you do it too much, they'll start breaking down and you get really small fries and it gets all mushy. So after about 8 to 10 minutes, you see this where it's starting to get brown on the sides. It's really hard, especially with a copper pan here, to kind of show you what it looks like. But it'll start cooking around the edges and it'll get brown, golden brown on the sides. And that's when you want to go ahead and pull those off. When you pull them off, put them on your secret weapon, your paper towel on a plate. I'm using a pie dish just because it's easier to do it. It was closer just because I made a pie the other day. So just go ahead and pull these off. Again, if they're nice and firm, go ahead and pull them off. Just try to strain as much of that oil as you can in there. As soon as you pull them off, that's when you want to go ahead and put a little bit of salt. Now, that's way too much salt in my hand, but that's good for the camera. So get it, sprinkle it on, then toss them around a little bit. When you pull them directly out, they're still warm. They still have the grease on there. The salt sticks to it, and it makes it easier where it's not all just falling through and sitting on the plate underneath, okay? So, yeah, and this is where I go ahead and put a little bit of salt in there. Again, it's optional. It always makes them taste better to me, I think. Once you get the whole group in here, you get them nice and crispy. I try to break them here. There you go. See, like I like mushy fries, but the firmer the better. So once you get these nice and done, I'm going to try to show you how to plate them. But again, I'm out of like a place to put these here, and that burner is still very, very warm right there. So I'm using my tongs to put them in here. You get you a decent sized plate of them. You can pull them all as just one big thing and put all this on it at once, or you can do them individually. Now this is where I add the brown sugar. Just take a little bit here and sprinkle it on. A lot of this stuff you got to use a spoon and 2 hands, so I can't show it all to you, so I very much apologize for that and the focus, having to chase this off. I don't drown them in brown sugar or whatever, just a good sprinkle on all of them, and then get you some butter. It doesn't have to be a lot, just a nice thin pat here. It's almost perfect racking that focus like that, but now I have to set it down to get it off the knife, I'm sorry. Get you your cinnamon here, focus. It's not focused on my hand. I don't know why I did that. Take it, get you a decent sprinkle of that. Then you want your marshmallow fluff, or your melted marshmallow. Just again, I'm sorry. I cut this part out. It was a pain in the neck to put that on there. Like I had to keep scraping it off my finger, and then put some of your chopped pecans on there. This is amazing. For me, this is a full meal now. But you can use it as a side. This is great for Thanksgiving. A lot of people want the sweet potato, whatever. This comes out of nowhere. It holds up really well, but when you reheat it, when the fries are by themselves, you don't have the stuff on it. They're easy to reheat in like an air fryer. Microwave does make them squishy because they're French fries that way. You put them in an oven for a few minutes, rewarm those, and then add everything to it. If you're going to do it as one big pile, I wouldn't suggest reheating it. The marshmallow fluff tends to go a little wonky in a microwave or whatever, but just put it in the oven for a few minutes. It'll heat up the fries a little bit and get a nice toast to your marshmallow fluff that's on there. Not necessarily for me. I'm not a big fan of the toasted marshmallow feel, like the burn and the extra skin on the marshmallow always kind of throws me off. So just raw marshmallow fluff for me. But yeah, you gotta let me know if you've tried this, if you've seen it anywhere. I've seen a lot of places that do the sweet potato fries, but they're just like, oh, here you're in with ketchup or whatever. I've never seen them done like this. It's not like I'm an innovator or whatever. I just was wondering if anybody's ever seen it. And there you have it, folks. Loaded sweet potato fries. How cool is that? If you've seen it done before, or you've seen it done different, or you do it differently, let me know, man. Put it down in the comments. That's what they're there for. You can also let me know on social media. We're on Facebook, Pinterest, Patreon. We're on all those at Live Between Paychecks Kitchen. You can also find us at Instagram at Live Between, and I had to shorten it down over there. You can also find me, Osway Nerdy, on all those, including Twitter. I'm not calling it X. And you can also find me on TikTok, where I'm usually just talking nerd stuff, action figure reviews, and miniature painting, stuff like that, comic books. And I will see y'all next time. If I don't see y'all before then, happy Thanksgiving. Or if it's past Thanksgiving, happy next Thanksgiving. There's another one coming. Y'all be safe.